One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everybody. I will call the meeting to order. We have a quorum. I will take a motion to approve the agenda in the minutes. So I have a motion, a second. Is there any further discussion on that? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries. Rich.
Mallard north of 380th, Mallard north of 380th is supposed to be started today. I don't know if they've gotten out there yet to do anything, but that's the first one. And after that, they'll move on to this to 415. They'll do the Mallard one first. Starting. Did a pre-con last week. They were thinking maybe a couple weeks worth of time for work, depending on the weather, but box culverts, the precast ones, they can be knocked out pretty quick, so. Hewlin did finish paving 390th. We're still working on, I think they did some driveway work on Thrush North to get rock down. We're still waiting for shoulders and paint. Actually, shoulders and paint on 390th and maybe some driveways too. We're really trying to push them to get the rock down. That's the biggest thing. But I know they're pretty busy right now too, so we're trying to get them back in here to finish the jobs up. And then sometime this week, we're going to, last week when it was kind of wet out, we fixed some potholes up by the Trent Hill Quarry from the railroad track. This week, we're gonna try to blade grade some asphalt. We're gonna close that down so we can actually get it done. Trying to pothole patch with 3 dozen trucks at one time coming in and out with kind of a bugger, but we're gonna blade grade some asphalt in there, just get through winter time, and then maybe this winter we'll try to design something maybe to completely replace that pavement, at least from the railroad tracks to the east, past the quarry, so that we've got something a little bit more durable there for all that training traffic. I mean, most of the asphalt's staying pretty well beyond there, but it's just, if we're gonna do something, I'd like to just put something more, not to say it's not permanent, but something a little bit more stout in there, so we're not always dealing with maintenance there. Be something we'll plan for next year if we can. That'd be good.
Concrete,
But,
concrete,
yeah.
have to be, right? I mean, just.
And if we do, I mean, we can go to the other side of the tracks. That seems to be holding up okay, but the bigger part right now is to maybe just worry about the east side of the tracks, and we'll consider doing something to 65. That way we don't have to worry about the railroad more than once.
Right.
Okay. So,
A lot of traffic, so.
yeah, it's, you just you can't believe it comes in wave.
Mhm.
That's where we're at maintenance wise. I know the guys are out trying to do a little bit of blading and stuff and still trying to button things up, but we need to start looking. Forward. All I've got for you this morning.
Anything else you guys got for Rich? No. Okay, thank you, Rich. Drainage, did I see a claim?
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve the claim?
Sorry.
I got a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion on that? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries. DD 34, accept the engineer's report and set hearing date.
You want to call Jacob on that one?
That's what I was gonna do.
Okay.
We don't have to use one anymore, do we?
So 712.
Oh, hold it. Okay, 712
250
250
18.
18.
There should be a speaker button.
Down there in the corner.
The number you have dialed has not been recognized. Please try again.
Let's make sure I wrote it down, right?
Okay, I'll hang up again.
Down.
Oh.
Like, get up.
All right.
712
712 250.
Oh, we missed the 5.
Hold on. 712 250.
Ooh.
Doesn't work.
Button.
That's why I didn't go through. It
Really?
wasn't an Enos problem. It
Not-
was a
not
phone
user
Oh, now you got three of them.
250?
Yeah.
What else?
4318.
That's weird. Yeah,
The worst case scenario, I'm calling myself on speakers.
so we just got a brand new phone and it doesn't work, right?
Hello?
Jacob?
Yep, this is Jacob.
Enos, Worth County Supervisor, got you on
Yep.
speaker here today about DD 34, the engineer's report.
All right, great. Do you want me to, I'll go over a little bit the report and we can schedule a time for it.
Yes,
So the report, you guys had asked us to look at a repair on the upper portion or possibly an improvement. And so we've got two proposals in there. One is a repair of the existing 1919 system on that upper end. It's been a problem area, and that had an estimated cost of a little under $800,000, which we just reclassified this district this year. So we do have the schedule already made. It came out to an average of about $222 an acre for the entire district, which is a repair, so the entire district would be responsible for it. The other option we came up with was the improvement option, and that's the improvement of the entire system, the upper portion and the lower portion. The original plan was constructed in 1919, and then in the 1970s, when they did the Deer Creek watershed, they actually ran a parallel tile on that lower portion for about the first 130 feet. And they also dug the ditch at that time, at the lower portion. When they did that, so the 1919 tile, the lower portion originally was running at about a coefficient of about a 0.15, and the upper portion was about a 0.25. And when they put in the 1976 tile, they combined it with the 1919 tile downstream and gave that lower area about a drain coefficient of about 0.3. I don't really know why they did that, as opposed to the standard was a half inch at that time. I don't know why they made the decision to throttle it back, so just a 0.3. However, because they did that, we are proposing another parallel system. So we would parallel the 1976 system, because it's only 50 years old at this point, to get a half inch drain coefficient for the entire thing. And that one had a total cost of about $2.35 million, or about $666 per acre on average, which I know is quite a bit of money, but as far as drainage tile improvements go, I think it's actually a pretty good price. I know John just did two last month, and I think they were both over $1,200 an acre on average. So 666 doesn't sound great, but it doesn't sound as bad as some districts are. Is there any questions about this? About the tile?
no, any questions, guys? AJ?
Not really, no.
Nope. No questions on our
Alright.
end here.
Okay. With the scheduling, I talked to Val. We were wondering about doing it just the same day as 14.
November 27th.
At 10:30,
It works.
because that one's at 9:30, you said?
Yeah.
Jacob, 10:30?
Yep, it's at 9. The 14 is on a Monday, the 27th at 9:30. We could probably do this one at 11.
Oh, okay.
I think I personally like it when we do two hearings, do a first hearing, and then have it come back in 3 weeks and have a second hearing. I think it gives the landowners a little bit more time to, I don't think any of them really read the reports beforehand. So then they can come to the hearing, get some more information and then go. So it's only just an hour and a half meeting. The 14, I think will be fine if we have the option to continue it.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Same thing with 34, so 9:30 for 14 and then 11 for 34.
Okay, we need a motion then to accept the engineer's report and set a hearing date for November 27th at 11 PM.
So moved.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion on it? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries. So, November 27th at 11 PM on DD 34, Jacob, or 11 AM, yes. Good
All right,
catch.
sounds good. Okay,
All right, thank you, Jacob.
bye.
That might get a little late here.
Okay. Is there you guys have a chance to go through all the claims?
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve the claims?
Motion to approve claim.
I have a motion second. Is there any further discussion on that? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries. Oh, what is this? Oh. What she got? We have the clerk report report. And, you wanna do these individually? And the sheriff's monthly report, what's that?
And quarterly.
And quarterly report.
Motion to approve the report.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion on that? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries.
I just flipped them that way so you knew where the signature was.
Find this one in any place. Same deal here.
Mm.
Is there any payroll? I didn't see any liquor license go through. Care Connections of North Iowa State came in and did some code changes, so they had to update everybody's 28E agreements, and what it looked like to me was adding board members and time periods. What else was there on there?
Yeah, some language changes, the board member makeup now is, they changed that, so it's 49% elected officials, 51%. We don't all agree with that, but that's what the state says, so, they do have that board made up, they got 2 vacancies, they're still trying to get people for, so. But everybody's attorneys agreed with everything, Care Connections did, Jeff did, so. I mean, I recommend we sign it.
I have a motion to update the 2080 agreement with Care Connections North Iowa. Is there a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
I need a notary.
Yeah.
With the,
Got one coming down?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, then did you sign this? I caught that, I had the wrong ordinance number on there. I had 33 and that was the resolution number instead of 2 was the ordinance number. It doesn't
Just
change
cured that
anything.
problem.
Thanks.
Yep.
You can probably just sign it later.
Should sign it later. Okay. Next we got water system improvement project. Jason? I'll give you some room here.
Start with the water project. I noticed Xenia is no longer on the side of the tower. Central Time did get the tower work done, the touch-up work on the inside. I have not seen an invoice yet unless they sent one directly here. They do still have to do some cleanup on the inside before we commission it. It has to be disinfected, but the critical part before the weather turns is done. So now we need to get the water main in. Working with the DNR on the permitting on that right now. Sorry, Jackie, I missed that previous email with the DNR, but that's been taken care of. I've touched base with Tara on that now, so.
Okay.
Working on the permitting, so that's where we're at on the water project. Questions on that?
Just,
Before we talk rate?
you were gonna find out about this tower security on the smaller one?
We'll look at that one a week here.
Okay. All right. So next we've got discussion on water and sewer rates.
Rates. So you have a rate ordinance for your water and for the wastewater. They're both set up where each user, each customer pays a prorated share of the 3-year rolling average of the average meter usage. This is dated 2015, somewhere along the way, this has been updated. Who sends the bill? Do you or does people?
People.
So I don't know where it's changed. Last time I was here, I handed out kind of, I don't know if you got yours. The rest of you have that or not, but your revenue claims, profit loss summary on the water and wastewater for the last 3 years. You go. So on the water end, you've been doing really good. Wastewater, see the last 2 years, you've lost money, 22, 23, 19%, 21, 22, 4%. Although, on average, or at the end of June of 23, your balance in the wastewater was $313,000. And your claims in ending June of 23 for that year were 204,000. So you got about 1.5 times your annual operating costs in reserves right now. Water was 256,000 for a balance, claims was 103,000, so you're about 2.5 times. So reserve wise, you're sitting fairly good. It's difficult on small systems like this to pick the magic rate. You know, we need to look at projects, future projects, the next 5 years, and start putting away money if we see anything coming. All your projects, for the most part, have been development based. When development comes, that's when the project comes, or this ARP money is when we do projects. So you haven't been paying for a lot of projects with your rate, it's primarily operation and maintenance. So as far as the rates on the water and the wastewater, the only immediate project that I could think of was the recoating repair of the interior of that smaller tower. I don't know if anybody else had anything in mind other than for future development.
I think eventually a treatment plant may move up by the tower, but that would be towards the end of that development, filling up. You know,
So there will be additional sources of revenue in this. You're selling water and you're selling this one.
right,
That's how you're.
yeah, as that fills up, that'll continue to grow, but that would be the only thing I would see outside of just maintenance.
But. So really, we went through. And looked at you know, your claims. We got two options here. A lot of numbers, a lot of fancy report right now. I'll just walk through this here. This is option two, I called it option one. I did not include extra money for recoating of that interior smaller tower, but I want to start with this one, it's a higher one. So the orange columns on the left is the existing percentage of your operation and maintenance costs that each user pays. Diamond Joe on the water was at 76%. Country Inn 17.3, Holiday Inn 6.7, and Come and Go was not in your existing ordinance. They've been paying, but they're not in your ordinance. Similar for the wastewater. The yellow columns is what I figured it's been actually getting billed at. I got some more billing information from people on this. I'm not sure where this change took place, why it took place, but it did need to happen. Your ordinance hasn't been updated that I can find. So that was based on, I assume, when Come and Go built, they did a reallocation on some of these billed percentages. And that's where you've been operating at since, as far as billing the percentage of the base rate. So the green columns, the percentage there is, I looked at last year, just the 1 year percentage of water usage. You see Diamond Joe goes down to 61.6%. Country Inn increases, Holiday Inn increases, so does Come and Go. Same thing on the wastewater end. So then I went into all right, what's it cost to run this system? The green column is what they would actually pay as part of their base pay. They're just total the fixed fee that they pay, not the usage fee. So even though Diamond Joe's percentage went down, your operation and maintenance costs have gone up. So Diamond Joe would end up at 88,000, just under $89,000 a year. That's using the more recent, more updated water and wastewater. So for water, I increased the base rate $50,000 a year, and that's to cover the East Tower rehab, say in 4 years from now, if you wanted to do that. And for wastewater, I increased it $40,000 to cover basically last year's loss. So it's a little bit of a guessing game, not knowing which pumps are gonna go. What one substantial invoice from electric pump or any of the repairs really makes a big difference in your profit loss as far as the water and wastewater goes. I do feel these rates need to go up. Reserve wise, you're sitting pretty good right now, but we need to increase them to at least the break even or a little more point. It'd be nice to be 10 to 15% over. So I guess our recommendation would be to increase them. It's up to you if you want to include that East Tower rehab. I don't know how else you're gonna pay for fixing the inside of it. Hate to take it out of reserves and then end up with a low balance there. And then we can increase the sewer rate, increases percentages. We need to sit down with the property owners and explain them. They're gonna ask, how did we come up with these percentages? What was my bill and what's my bill gonna be? So I'd like to, I guess, if you agree with this, update some numbers, put it in a format where we can present it to them and say, this is why it has to change, this is what it's gonna be, and make sure they're in agreement with how we've done this so far.
Yeah.
Get
The only
that done.
question I've got is whether we wanna add that East Tower update at this time.
I think it needs to be done.
It needs to be done.
That's
So we should
Well,
add,
that's part of the reason why we,
Okay.
or, well, with the ARP funds available, why we actually went after the big tower, because it's usable. Otherwise, we would have spent probably well over 100,000 in temporary portable water setup just to be able to knock that tower down for a month and then recode it, redo it, and then put it back in service. So why not put the money towards the other tower that's not getting? You know, everybody that drives by that thing doesn't realize it's a water tower. They just think it's the Diamond Joe sign. It's not a functionable water tower.
The users
That's
aren't
a
paying
live
for
off.
this water main extension, they're not paying for getting that north tower online here.
Right.
So to me, if they have to pay to fix what they have is more than fair for them.
Exactly,
I would say. We'll get it done.
and we just have to explain it to them that, exactly that way, I mean, you
And
know, the county's looking to invest in another 700,000 into this.
I'd like to update your ordinance, so this is easier in the future as well, if people come on, because there's been a little bit of a lack of record between the changes that have happened out there, the change in people being involved. But get it pretty black and white, so in the future, we can just add new data and have a spreadsheet that kicks out the correct information as far as it billing goes.
Do we assess rates annually versus when we get to it?
This, and if we set it up right, it'll be easier to keep that 3-year rolling average going.
Okay.
You know, I look back
Like
3
people
years,
service does with us?
there you go. The 3 years now, we still get into COVID a little bit, so it's kind of skewing the numbers. You still had to pay people service to be there. Right. You weren't selling near as much water. Yeah, people service the biggest percentage of the claims that you have out there.
No, yeah,
And are you gonna be dealing with, Holiday Inn wastewater this
I
time?
have them.
I saw it.
Got it down there, but
I have them paying wastewater. I mean, we talked about it at the last meeting. And I think we go into the meeting with the property owner saying, you're gonna be paying base rate at a minimum. And then, once you start using, you'll be paying usage fee.
So that'll adjust, cause I'm guessing they'll end up using more than come and go at some point.
No, that green column, I've got Holiday Inn at 7.8%, come and go at 8.9, that's based on last year's water usage.
Oh, what, oh,
so they
Okay.
just, yeah,
oh.
the wastewater should be fairly similar
Yeah, okay,
to that number.
Last year, come and go used 905,000, Holiday Inn 793,000.
That's what we have to do, and then that'll push them to connect down the system, because it does say it in our ordinance that
We're supposed to.
you're supposed to hook on if it's.
Your ordinance says it, state code says it.
Mhm.
yep,
So.
make the ordinance simpler
Yeah,
when you do it.
Yeah,
And
that's what I think. We need.
we're gonna, Jason and I talked to a little bit, we're gonna look through this ordinance to see if there's any other additions we need to put in it, because an ordinance change is public hearing, public
Yeah.
notice, it
Yep.
costs money, so we'll do that at the same
Same
time,
time.
we'll just
Yep.
revamp that ordinance, so it's, gets us to current day standards.
But with just a handful of users out there, I think we need to sit down and meet with them, explain it before we get to the. This is my opinion, it'd make it easier,
I think they did last time.
Cause that just affects those 4 or 5 customers.
for people.
So,
Yeah, they
So-
all went to a meeting room at the country inn.
Yeah.
That's what they did.
So who has the contact information for everybody out there? Who would be best to coordinate said meeting?
I,
Good question.
did Melissa help us last time, or?
she probably has the contact of
Yeah.
everybody.
I can reach out to her.
Not to throw her under the bus, but,
Right. Well, let's see.
cause I know I don't have them.
No. Yeah.
And we're
I
gonna
know
see,
I
good
didn't
starting
send it
point
last
anyway.
time.
Yeah,
we're gonna see her today
Check with
anyway,
her.
so we'll mention
That's
to
a
her.
good starting point, check with her.
I'm pretty sure she has the contact.
I think she would as well. So I'll start with her. We'll get something scheduled as far as attendance. I don't know, I'll go, obviously, one of you. AJ,
I'll go.
you seem to be
AJ would do that.
water-
AJ, more up to date on that stuff.
When do you wanna?
Dave, right?
Come get contact, give them a couple weeks,
Give them a couple weeks.
end of the month.
Yeah. By November 3rd at the latest, I would say, let's try and keep it moving.
I was supposed to go on vacation the 8th and 9th. That would go home next week, but I'm not now, so. Let's yes, get done before that,
At least the initial meeting.
for that week. anyway. Yep. So you can send out info or contact with them and I guess when if you're talking to Country Inn, if they have a room available. I don't know if the casino has anything available or not, but
Oh, they had like a conference room or whatever. Yeah, on that side.
Okay. Let's see if we can use that room and meet there.
Very good.
Okay, anything else was?
That's it. Like I say, these rates are a little tricky with a system like yours. With so few users and one invoice out of the norm makes a big difference.
Just thinking about that one invoice too, I shouldn't say one, but we have a pump that we need to replace in our lift station. I forgot about that, which is, I think there's an estimate like 7,000. Right. Cause we got the one fixed, we just bought one,
Right.
and then got the blue fixed on that same setup, this started leaking. And then the other one is, every time they change the oil, they put mechanical seals on it like 3 or 4 times now, and it's the same age as the other one, it's original, so. Well,
Do we wanna ask about this notice?
Yeah, I got it. Oh, down here next, that was the last thing I was gonna hit him with.
Awesome.
Looking at your 22, 23. As far as wastewater, there was. In July of 22, there was a $26,000 payment to people. I don't know if that was a true up. For the chemical usage or what it was, but that one invoice really threw. The claims for that.
Was that like July or?
Repairs and stuff?
July of 22,
Yeah, that would have been,
chemical,
Yeah, it's cause it's chemical.
it was on the water side, right?
no wastewater.
Wastewater.
Yeah. And that's the one where we're seeing the negative.
Because July 23 or August 23, we got paid back some, didn't we? The first
Mhm.
time, this year we got money back.
But we pay more now
Yeah. Yeah,
upfront.
But yeah, we got money back.
yeah, for the first time, you know.
Ever.
Yeah, so I didn't, just one invoice like that. Changes, yeah.
Use everything a little bit.
Use everything,
Yeah.
which is why we need to look at an average for multiple years. You have your reserve to carry the small negatives. We don't want any big negatives.
You know what? You know what that would have been? Didn't we put an air conditioner in 22?
You mean when it got damaged?
Yeah. Wasn't that like $20,000?
Yeah, probably. It was not cheap, yeah. It could have been.
Insurance,
That might have been an insurance deal.
Well,
but it. Well, we should have, the money should have been an in and out though, if there was insurance.
no, but
It was paid to people
Oh, it was.
per year.
So that was, because we paid that, we paid that air conditioner directly. We.
what month was it?
I got-
July of 22.
I got
July
it in
20.
this one.
I can't remember, guys.
I want to say it was some kind of repair, probably. I don't remember what it was.
Other than that, the rest of the repairs look pretty well normal. Smaller items, you know, people, service, and the electric are your two every month. That repeat. I'm covering the electric with the per gallon that they pay. It's $3.20 per gallon, I think, is on the water, $3.75 on the wastewater. 'Cause the more water they use, the more electricity. they require. So the variable items are still covered, but, and I don't think we need to change the consumption rate, the usage rate. That still covers your expenses as far as the variable costs, it's the fixed cost. That we need to look at.
Okay. Anything else you got for him? I got one other thing, people service. There's a new lead and copper rule.
Yeah, you're.
And those participants out there have to fill out paperwork, the way I read it.
Which there's none out there, it's all new enough.
Oh, yeah. That would all be, there's no lead and there's probably not any copper either, is there? Is there copper out there?
Lead line inventory, they just got lead copper rule because they test for it, the lead line inventory is the big thing they're after.
For people.
Yeah, they're not,
They're sending it to us to have us. Get them to fill out this report.
they're
Each
sending
one of them out there, like come and go and Holiday Inn and.
they're sending it to all their communities and.
Yeah.
There's only, what, 5 connections out there, I think we could fill this out for them.
I don't think we should have to fill it out personally, but that's just my opinion. At $200-some thousand a year, I think that can should get taken care of from them, but.
That's not what they think.
Yeah,
When you have this meeting, you wanna bring that up to them? to fill it, cause they gotta fill it out, right? The property owner? Yeah, doesn't the property owner fill it out the way I read it?
Yeah, they sent you a form because they're sending it to all the communities that they want to find out what their.
They wanna know what they're saying.
Otherwise, you gotta let them in your house to go to your basement,
Yeah.
plug your things. We're out there, it's pretty obvious what's
As
out
long as
there.
they're not lead, we're pretty good.
There's
There's no lead.
there's no lead.
Yeah.
What's that?
I have an email copy of it.
Oh, okay, so.
Yeah, we can discuss it.
You guys gonna handle it at the same time?
Yeah, I didn't want you to blindside.
Yeah, it's due in October and. It's pretty simple. It's all online stuff. You can get going and like say with the 6-8 connections that are out there, it's not.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
We got a year to do it.
When you got towns with thousands of taps and been around for 100 years.
Yeah,
there's a
you
lot
think-
out there.
I think we're the
We
only,
just need to go through the paperwork and get it done.
pretty much.
You want this back, Jackie, in your file?
Not really.
I'll just lay it here.
Unless I need to make sure that it gets
Yeah.
done.
Okay.
That I will work on scheduling a date.
Last week, October first, before the third.
Include the East Tower. Recording work, yeah,
I would.
I think so. It's.
I think
it's-
you should.
It hasn't been done since it was new.
especially since on the hook plan. We're doing that.
We've got to get it coded so that it doesn't rot out if we need it. You know, if something happens, we can still utilize that tower. And we don't want it to rust.
Way they're responsible. and fall
Yeah,
apart anyway,
exactly.
the building, so.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're gonna have to come back and do it again.
Plus we put them in the phone.
And you know, your wastewater plant, it's not new anymore.
No,
So the maintenance costs are gonna go up there. Start creeping. I don't think you usually paid anything for the wastewater plant, did they?
It's like, it's way before I got.
Yeah, I don't know how they paid for that.
Essentially, they're just paying for maintenance is all they're paying for.
So that 26,000, it was the monthly plus 16,000.
also
There's
16,000
16,000.
true up then the monthly was.
Which, they have updated that now, I believe. Or-
Oh, yeah,
In
they don't
three
miss that.
years, the people. Went from $7,000 to $10,000 a month on the wastewater. It's pretty substantial.
Mhm.
Okay. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you, Jason.
Yep. Melissa, are you on? Yeah.
Morning.
Morning.
I have a prospect that came through from IADEG. And they want to do a call and was asking if one of the supervisors want to sit on it. So when I get that information, I can pass it along. Do you guys have a preference of?
No,
Okay,
we mentioned, yeah. Is
we do,
anybody else doing it?
does not matter.
No, one of us will.
All right, just an inquiry. They are looking at the corner lot, obviously, the better, the best lot.
Good.
And and then today's meeting is in Clear Lake. And I was told to go to the west door. The west gate, and then pick up the phone and call, and they'll let you in.
Easy enough.
Pardon?
Not sure if you heard us talking about you a little bit ago, but do you have contact info for the folks out at the interchange, all the businesses that are there, come and go, hotels?
Yes,
Okay, Jason Petersburg will be getting hold of you then to get that info.
sure,
Thank you.
you bet.
Anything else for Melissa, guys? Thank you, Melissa. We'll see you later this morning.
Sounds good.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Jason.
Jay.
EMS continued discussion, anything new on it?
We're working,
Have I heard anything from you? You're just working on it?
we're getting our petition going and getting that ready to start after our knocking on doors and seeing if people want to participate, so.
Okay. And we talked to him about that lead and copper rule for people service, so. Department head discussions, Dan, anything?
Only thing I got is, we got that vendor coming in tomorrow morning to look at them door locks on the cells and see if there's anything they can do, so we'll see. Hopefully I'll have a report in a week or two to bring back on that.
Okay. Anything with IT?
We did get approved by Microsoft for the GCC licensing, so, we'll be getting some, licensing for that, and we'll be trying to roll out Office 365.
Okay. Supervisor Weekly, AJ, what do you have?
I didn't have any.
Nothing,
I didn't either.
must be orderly slow.
Okay. Next week's agenda items, did you look them over? Anything there that you wanna add or ask them? I think so. I have a question for, did you get the email from ISAC on? We're supposed to work with the chief judge on getting a lactating room in that courthouse
What?
for,
And where are we gonna put it?
I thought, well, I was just asking if you got the. Cause I got it.
I
You must
figured
give this to
we'll,
you, 'cause I didn't get that.
figured we'll wait until we hear.
Sam,
more
what did you
about it.
send out?
Didn't screen all the.
I just was picking your brain to see if you got that email too, cause that was my attitude too, where's that going? So, right, just, it was just a question, Jackie, I just didn't know if you had the email or not.
Here we go.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's just,
Next. I mean, I get it, but
in that case, then I will take a motion to adjourn if there's nothing else.
so move.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, we are adjourned.